Welcome back to another episode of Dad on Money. I'm Stephen Williams, and I'm a financial advisor, and I own the accounting firm, The Small Business Accountants, and we're here to help you achieve your financial goals and protect your finances as well. Today's episode is for you family people. So you got a family, you might have kids, you might not, but your budgets might look different. One, because there's another person in the mix here. So you really need to communicate together, sit down together, go through that information with each other to make sure you're on the same page. Because if one person is a spendthrift and the other person's a saver, guess what's going to happen? The saver is going to be very upset at the spendthrift. So it happens, I've seen it tons, and it destroys relationships. So make sure you work together. So that's the downer part of it. Budgets for this, for a family. So if you got kids, guess what? Depending on what you make, you can earn money from the Canadian government just for having kids. So have lots of kids. Why not? You can get like hundreds of dollars a month for these kids. This is awesome. You could that could be a full-time job as a parent.
Is that what you did, Dad?
That's exactly what I did. You still need to work. You're still going to have your income category, you're still going to have your savings, but now your savings might be a little bit different because you may be in your first home or second home or wherever you're at, or saving still for your first home. But now that you got kids, you're probably saving or should be saving, even if it's just a little bit, for your children's education. Because guess who's going to take care of you in the future? Keep in mind, if you only have one kid, you got to rely on that one kid to take care of you for the future. So you better treat them super well because you got nothing else to backstop to take care of you. So that's why you want to have lots of kids so that you can have a few to take care of you so they're not feeling burdened by taking care of dear old dad. So anyway, let's get back to your budget. You've got your budget, and always the second line item is going to be your savings. What are you saving for? Is it for that house? Is it for a bigger house because you're having lots of kids? Is it for a new vehicle? Because the more kids you got, the bigger the vehicle you need. I loved my Savannah van. Those 15 passenger seats were amazing. What else are you saving for? Oh, maybe for the kids' education. Maybe you got to save for medical. Maybe you got to save for just the future period. Plus, you got to save for your retirement because maybe they'll all be deadbeats in the future and they're not going to help you. So you got to make sure you help yourself by saving now for your future as well. Then once you figured out all your savings and what that looks like, now you can look at your expenses and see what that looks like. And definitely, now's the time to seek some professional help, not psychiatry or counseling necessarily. You might need to, depending on how many kids you have, but you might need to seek help when it comes to what should you be doing financially to be able to save for the future. Cover off if something happens to you, to make sure that you've got things set up and in place that if you are the main income earner, or if both of you are the income earners, that if something happens to one or both of you, that what happens to your children? Who's taking care of them? What kind of money is going to go to that family member that is going to take care of them so that they aren't burdened? Because there's a lot of people that will not take your children, even if they're family, because they can't afford to. So I've chatted with lots of families who put specific insurance in place to have it there for their children's guardians, which could be family, so that their family isn't burdened by these kids coming into their home. So keep that in mind as well. Or if something happens to either one of you, then you've got something in place there to maybe pay off the mortgage or to supplement the income or to set the kids' education up, whatever that looks like. But those are things that should be discussed. And even if you don't have the extra in the budget to be able to do those things right now, you should be planning for the future for those, because those are important, and you don't want your spouse, after you're gone, putting out a GoFundMe and getting $10 to help them out, or even $1,000 to help them out, when you could have had things in place prior that would have set them up for life. And, not be happy that you're gone, but be happy that they can continue life because of your legacy. So those are some of the things that you need to look at for your budgeting. You are going to have some extra expenses. If you got babies, you're going to have your diapers and your formula and all that other stuff. If you got teenagers, well, good luck keeping the fridge full. So, that's going to change as your family grows and as the kids get older. And remember, with those kids, teach them young of how money works and what they need to use that money for, and to help them save for their future. So to review, in your budget, you're going to have your income. The next category is the savings. You gotta get your savings in place for whatever those future goals are. Whether that's kids' education, a bigger house, a first house, whatever it is, you gotta look at those. And then you've got your expenses. That's really what's left over. And keep in mind that there's 2 of you now, at least. You might even include your kids in the budgeting process as well for your household. But regardless, it's you and your spouse that you have to deal with together to be able to figure out this budget and plan together going forward. So keep that in mind as you do this. And you know what? Things aren't going to be perfect and rosy all the time, but if you budget properly and you save, it'll be okay.